And welcome back to New Bits with Vac and Vinnie. We are so glad you are here. We got a great show for him today, don't we, man?
I love this guy. So I'm excited he's here.
Me too. Vac and I have known this guy forever. I don't know, Vac. I'd have to say probably one of the best writers in the business.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's got a dry bar special. It's called Tragedy Plus Time equals Danny Bevins. He's a writer. He's a producer. A good friend. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just get him in here, Vac. Danny Bevins.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Nice to see both of you. It's been
pleasure,
a while.
Man.
Yeah.
It's been a while, Danny.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
I was talking to Greg before, Vinny, about a Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we're supposed to bring up the thing, but I've been doing a couple, and Greg knows this, that he's out on the ship now that has the theater shows. And it's different than the shows that have the ships that have the comedy shows, the comedy club shows. They call it a comedy club. It's a little space that they have for it. But on those shows, you only do 22 minutes. Now, guys like us, 22 minutes. You know, I tell my wife, you can wake me up in the middle of the night. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even wait. Hand me a microphone, I can do 22 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not even. It doesn't. You know, I don't break a sweat at 22 minutes, right?
Right.
But you're doing 22, and the thing about doing it is that I was working with this comedian, and I'm not going to say any names, but I was working with somebody, and they were doing 30. They were doing 35, and I brought it up to them, and I'm like, and they were like, oh, I don't see the light. Oh, I don't. And I'm like, hey, we've been doing this long enough. You're supposed to be a professional. This is basic stuff. If you don't understand time on stage, then it's because you're a horrible person. That's what it is. It's all about you. And so I just told them, I'm going first. You can go. You can do as much time as you want after me. I'm going to do my 22, and then every night I try to. I mean, I literally put the gas on. I tried, and Greg knows when you're on these ships that starting out you're taking a bullet. You because you're starting the show, so you're taking a bullet. But when I get to 10, if I have them on my side, by 22, when I'm handing them off to you, they are way up here. You know what I mean? You can get there, and I still feel like a dick for doing that, but I just couldn't.
No.
I couldn't.
I get it, man.
Disrespect.
Did you ever stick around to see if he struggled after you, or did you just do your thing and go?
Well, you kind of hear it in the beginning, so you feel it because you got to walk, and you walk out of the room, and people are kind of high-fiving you or whatever they're saying, fist bumping or whatever. Yeah, right. And so you're kind of seeing it happen in real time. But no, I'm not going to stay for any time. I did 2 weeks with this person. It's a back-to-back, and it was the longest 2 weeks I've ever done on ships. And Royal is a fantastic ship to be on. It's good quarters.
Oh, great.
It's good food. Right. You know what I mean? It's a decent deal. So if you're with somebody that you like, you can really have a good time without doing crazy stuff. You can just have a good time going to lunch together. You know what I mean? You go for walks out on the day trips or whatever, and you enjoy yourself. I was alone the whole time because I just couldn't get past what a horrible person.
You knew. That's exactly what I was going to say, Danny. You knew after that first night what a horrible person that guy was. Why would you want to hang out with him?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
exactly.
Yeah, I get it, man. And most of the dudes I've worked with have been great. I've known them, and every once in a while, just like in comedy clubs, every once in a while you get hooked up with someone. You go, "How did you get the gig?"
Yes.
How do you not know the time? I've been in that spot with you, just like you were in Danny. I went, I'm just going to go first. Right. You can do all the whatever you feel you got to do after me, because my ego is doing my show, not closing. Usually you flip flop. I'll close one night, you close the next, or whatever. Or if somebody has a preference, and once in a while you get some nutbag, some real wingnut, and you're like, oh my God, get me out of here,
I agree. I worked with Rick D'Elia, the last one I did, and that was great because Rick helped me get on this. So it was, we've been friends for a long time, 25 years actually. And so we had a blast. But the guy, so I was doing 2 weeks back to back, but I was really doing 3. So I was on the same ship for 3 weeks, right? So that third week was Kirk Smith. Do you guys know Kirk? Have you ever met Kirk?
No.
Tall
No.
guy. Anyway, fantastic, beautiful. So I open the first night. I tell him, because I'd been doing it. I was just, I think I wanted to go yell at my kid. I wanted to go talk to my kid in between shows. So I said, I'll open, let him have the starring role or whatever. And so I come back to the second show and I said, hey, I didn't get to see your act. So is there anything that you don't want me to do? Is there anything I'm stepping on? Is there anything? And he goes, how do I say this? There's a lot of death in that act, Bevins. A lot of death. A lot of people die. A lot of things. lot of things that were alive that are no longer alive, and you're doing a lot. Anyway, we can cut out some of that. And he was right. I didn't know. Because that show I did all of this stuff, and he was really right. I called my wife later and told her, and she goes, "What'd you do?" And I told her the set list, and she goes, "You think? I mean, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. You should never." And I didn't. It just didn't occur. It was the jokes I wanted to do, and but it was funny to hear that from a comic. Like,
That's
look,
interesting.
man,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a little dark. You know what I mean? Can you pull back just a little bit? Give us a
Especially
little bit.
opening up. Yeah.
A little light. So, but I'm excited to come with you because I've been thinking about this bit. And
cool.
I told Vinnie that I've never done this bit. This has just been a thought. And it's actually, I think now it's going to be an even bigger bit. So the basic idea of it is I got invited to a gender reveal party, and my wife didn't even get through reveal before I said no. It was a hard pass immediately. I have no idea who these people think they are. The audacity of, I wasn't there for the conception, but you think I care about the sex of this kid? Am I buying it? What is it that you? And my problem with it was, and here's the thing: my wife was the same way. She's like, we don't really even know these people, and I was like, yeah, yes, but that's not even the people who know these people don't want to go. This is your wife and you and a couple of people you forced to do it. It's like, do you have a sex tape of us? Do you have a voicemail of me leaving, saying shitty things to my kid on it? Is that because that's the only way you're going to get me there? You know what I mean? And so, but what I want to get to is that they didn't pitch it, right? It's just gender reveal party. Yes or no, something like this. You're gonna have to pitch it like come see if we're gonna keep it. We might be raffling away a baby. You know what I mean? Something like that, or come watch us start a fire. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you remember, there's a gender reveal party that used a pyrotechnic that started a fire for 71 days in California. It destroyed 5 homes and killed a firefighter. And my thought was, do you have to name the kid after the fire on that? I mean, don't you? Don't you? El Dorado, come here. Sparky, come here. So I'm just saying, that's not a public display of affection. That's not a PD. That's not a public event. Okay, that is a private, personal moment of disappointment that you keep to yourselves. That is not. And I know there's going to be people out there going, "Oh, because the father's upset because it's a girl." What? No, it doesn't have to be the mother can be upset that it's a girl also. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah. Because there are mothers out there right now, even this day, that when they hold up the kid and she sees that it's a little girl, the mother is thinking, "Oh, great, he's going to leave me for her." So.
Yeah. That's great. That's funny, dude. I love it, man. I love it.
Okay, I think a lot of what you said was really funny right off the bat. And I do a gender reveal joke, which is totally different than yours, but just
Right.
totally different. Okay. Um, but what I liked, what I thought you were getting at, Danny, was like, what's the next thing? Like, I like your joke about I wasn't there for the conception and the general idea that these people think we're really interested in this. We're not. Nobody is.
Nobody.
Nobody is. Nobody cares. Maybe the grandparents might want to know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Otherwise, just tell us. You can just tell us. Shoot me an email.
Right.
Hey, it's a boy. It's a girl.
Well,
Nobody wants to take a day.
No. Now, this is a second thing that you do at a party that you have to get us there for a reason, and then But I'm with you on that. I really believe that, and not only that. Think about it this way, Greg. These are the people that would also say we don't care what the gender is. Well, yes, you do. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a reveal. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Why do we have to?
As long as the baby's healthy. Oh, but here's the big reveal. Like, it's always amazes me when people think that we give a shit about them so much. Not that you don't care about them, you do. But like things like this, most people don't care. Hey, your brother's wife having a kid, they call you, hey, it's gonna be a boy. Congratulations, good for you. And you fucking move on. Like, you move on. It's not like, how do you feel about it? Nobody really cares. Is the baby healthy? Is the mother healthy? That's it.
Right.
That's all we care about. This gender. I'm going to take a day. I got to kill a Saturday now to watch you send up pink balloons or blue balloons. I saw one on YouTube that they drove a little train through the backyard, like some guy was driving a train. And they left the balloons. Come on. So my thought is this. I don't know if this is going to make sense, and maybe I think you were kind of alluding to it, Danny, was like, what's the next step? What's the next reveal? Are they going to? Do I have to go to every step of this kid's life?
Right.
I don't know what it would be. The gender reveal. Do I have to go to the college reveal? I'm always going to.
I'm with you.
College reveal.
I'm with you. But I think in a different way. This is the way I think I would go with it. Is that, listen, you're holding this gender reveal party way too early. Let's get to 15, and then you can tell me what it is. Okay? You know what I mean? Because what is it going to decide to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a way there, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, actually, that was kind of my joke. Was that I got invited to a gender reveal party in L.A. And I said,
and they were
12. It's going to change. I can't afford all those parties. It's L.A. But I don't know if that's kind of.
No, that's great. That's great. I think where this is going to go is that is the party idea. Whatever words you put before party determine whether or not I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Super Bowl party. No. I want to watch the game. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want you telling me, hey, shut up, everybody. The commercials are coming on. No. That's not how I do this. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I think there's a birthday party. Wait a minute. How old are you? Because if you're 7, I'm coming. I'm bringing my kid. We're getting you something. But if you're 27, fuck you. You don't even get the day off. Yeah. The only person that gives a shit about this is your mother. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. And then she'll remind you what a painful birth it was.
That's it.
That's where you go.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, it took 5 hours. I was dying. Every birthday. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. If you're 7, I'll bring my kid. We'll get you a gift. I get it. You're 27. Fuck you. I'm not going to your party. Oh, that's funny, man.
That's really funny. That's where it goes.
I think.
I just had a couple of things for that in my head, and you both touched on both of them. So I don't know what you think. When you started, one of you started talking about how many of these parties for the kids. Or I think that was you, Vac. Said how many of the parties were. What immediately came to my mind was George Costanza complaining, and when they had to go buy wine and then buy a cake, like. Oh, why are we doing it? Like, how many presents do you need for this fucking kid? We got you the fucking baby shower.
Oh, that's
We got
good.
you the
That's
thing,
good.
and now he's gonna have a
Okay.
birthday. How many fucking
yeah,
presents do you need for the? Do I got to
yeah.
bring a present for the gender
Yeah.
reveal? La, 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 la.
Right. And
That's
what is the right present for a gender reveal?
How do I know
You know what
what
I mean?
present to bring for the gender reveal?
Yeah, I gotta get one of each. So I'm definitely taking something back. Is that what it is? You know,
pick one,
And-
or you just
yeah.
get a gift certificate for whatever Target.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
pick your own thing out. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God! And I still find So I thought the next step, like how many reveal? What else are you gonna? Do I have to go to the reveal parties? Do I have to go to? But also, just I think it's the narcissism of the parents to
Yes. Oh, yeah.
think that we give a shit because we
Yeah.
don't. We do not care. Even when my own sisters were pregnant and do you want to know what it's going to be? I'm like, oh yeah, yes. Even my own, like, for my own blood, I didn't give a shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is everybody healthy? Okay, good. That's all that matters to me. And I would never think to say, you must be interested and you must now come and spend a day of your life at my house for my gender reveal party. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. And it's even more than
where
that.
Where these parents get off.
Right. It's even more than that. Think about it, because the entitlement here is not just that they think that we care. They know we don't care. They just want us to go along with the lie. That's how deep into it is. Listen, we know these people. They will come and act like this matters. It's a series of trying to figure out, what matters. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we have we're inviting you to our Gatsby party. Hey, why don't you just have a fucking party? What do you care what I wear? You know what I mean? Play whatever music you want. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stop you from dancing any way you want. But I'm not going to go out and get a top hat because you read one book in high school. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, that's, it's insane. But people do that. They really think, look, I think if you want to know the separates of the religions, right? Like, I think the Christians did win on the cutting the dick and keeping that private. You know what I mean? Like, inviting a bunch of people over to cut somebody's dick off that is a pretty high thing to think of yourself. That not only do I want to be, I want to be there while we're mutilating this kid's genitals. Let's fucking do that together.
Fast forward 15 years later. You don't remember me? I was at your bris.
Yes, exactly. So good. Yeah.
So,
or the opposite. You don't remember me? 25 years ago, you were at my bris, and you are now a part of the criminal organization that I have. You know what I mean? Because at some point, that's one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Hey, I got a couple other things here. One of this, when you're talking about how you're not coming to the gender reveal party, I go, here. You want to know, how much this is a hard no for me. Okay.
Right.
I thought the cigar with the pink and blue band around it was stupid. Okay. I'm not coming to a friggin' party. Okay. or any variation. Because remember, that used to be the gender reveal party.
Yes.
Hey,
yes, here's the cigar. Yeah. That's fantastic.
You got a pink band or a blue band,
Yeah.
That used to be the gender reveal party. And the other thing.
Sometimes the guys be handing out a cigar and they go, it's not pink or blue. They'd be like, yeah, because it's not mine. Let's go.
Oh, that's funny, man.
That's good.
Do you
I
think,
like
Danny, when you do this, I love the way you just approached it at the very beginning. Like, the way you rolled it out to us tonight was like, it seemed to me like you had to kind of hammer it out. I think just that attitude.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. Yeah. It's normally, I don't know how you guys do it, but in my world, my wife is the beginning audience. And so it's her like first response, whether she laughs or not is really the thing. It's if it triggers any emotion or any thought, if it triggers a conversation, then I know I'm somewhere in the area, because she's not going to put up with bullshit. Like if it's not funny or she's not interested, she'll just be like, okay, whatever. She
She's
treats
been
it
there.
very,
There,
yeah.
done
I
that, yeah.
mean, that's the beauty of what she is in my life, is there's no bullshit, And then I got a friend I go to, and I call him and I go, I'm just going to throw these things out at you, and you tell me what you think. And he listens to the stuff, and he's like, yeah, it's all right. That's all right. I don't know. That seems a little easy. That's a little too cheap. And he's more of the, the snob. So I get a little bit of that. And that helps me kind of find where I want to be. But a lot of times, right, you're looking for where you want to be in the joke, right? I mean, I've written jokes that I go, well, that's funny, but it's not me, and you end up giving them to somebody or selling them to somebody or whatever. But I can't do that. I will tell you this. The hardest thing that I've had to do lately was I wrote a bit. The beginning of the bit and the ending of the bit came to me like wake up and write it down kind of thing. Like I mean, it wasn't completely there, but it was enough that it was almost there, right?
Yeah.
But the middle was all exposition, and it was very, very difficult, because the bit is about my father, and it's about where it gets hard is I see my dad and he's sad, and I go through a thing of I've never known him as a sad man. That's not who he was, and But then I have to almost ruin him. So and I was like, am I going to tell the truth here? So I really did. I started like making up stories that were kind of close to what happened. And I don't know what it was about the audience, but they just were not in there. And so now I've got two that I do. One of them, and I can do both of them. If I have a long show, I can do both of them. One of them is when I was a kid, I was skateboarding down a hill, and and jumping gutters. So I'm going down a hill and I'm jumping, and I missed, and I landed on my face, and I like skateboarded on my face, and I ended up having to go to the hospital, and I had to have these stitches, and and I felt awful, and it was a rough time. And the next morning, my father woke me up and told me, "Hey, you got to go cut the lawn," because you told me you were going to cut the lawn today. Yeah. And I was, first of all, I got stitches. I'm, concussed. I'm like, Dad. And he's like, no. This is what a man does. You do what you say you're going to do. You want to do some stupid shit? You got to pay the piper. Today, you're going to cut the lawn. So I was out there, bleeding and mowing a lawn, and I know this because I have a picture a friend took, because he couldn't believe, even back then, that a parent would do that. All right. And there's no way I could do that to my kid now. Mind you, my mother is inside the house watching me do this, and the look on her face is like, you missed a spot. And you know what I mean? Right? And the other one is when I was 12, my dog got real sick, and my dad took me out to a field with my dog, and he explained to me that when you love something, you're responsible for it, and if it needs your help to go to the next place, you have to be willing to do that. And he handed me a loaded weapon and showed me where to point it at the dog, and told me to pull the trigger. And I unloaded that weapon and handed it back to him, because you don't hand him a loaded weapon, and explained to him that I wasn't going to shoot my dog because I was in the middle of a fucking old Yeller novel. Okay. So, you goddamn psycho. You know what I mean? So he shot the dog, and then we buried the dog. Okay. And even as I'm telling you this now, I feel like I'm admitting a crime. That's how bad that
Yeah.
was. And that
Yeah.
leads me into this joke. And I know you can see it and you're going, how's this funny? But what I do next is so dark that I needed my dad to be that dark for me to do what I'm going to do to him. And
Right.
that's what
Okay.
takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
And it ends up being my father's favorite bit, but yeah, but I'm going to tell you the hardest part, and still I can sit down and make those funnier if I want to. The problem is I need them to kind of come to me and be with me
Yeah.
for a minute before I get to this part, because we're about to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on this one place and I need them leaning in kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I never, it's the first time I ever ran into that. I mean, I've run into you run into things where you find out I can't tell this joke, so I have to put it in another character's voice for the audience to be okay with it. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you, I've run into that. I've understood that rule, but I never got to a place where the audience is like, for us to go where you want us to go, you have to tell us the truth, and we have to believe it. We have to fucking believe it. And
Yeah.
I never gave him that much credit, and
Yeah.
maybe
No,
not.
no. Yeah. Sometimes I write jokes where I am willing to what's it called? Take a dive ain't the right word, but deal with silence for a little bit in order to get, like you said, exposition out
Right,
so that they'll come with you for the rest of this thing.
right.
And what I found is sometimes I lose them during that moment and sometimes I don't. But when I don't, of course it goes well. But yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Man, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. That's tough. I'm looking forward to hearing that dark part that you're talking about, Danny.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a
I mean,
for the
you don't.
longest, for the last 5 months, it's been one of my favorite jokes.
Bet.
And again, now through most of that, that middle piece wasn't working, and and I would still get enough people on the other side. And I did a special. You heard it then. I sent you the special, so
Oh, okay. So I've heard it. Yeah.
yeah. So it's the
Yeah.
dad bit that I
Okay.
did,
Yeah.
and yeah. So, and even there, it wasn't done properly.
When's that special
I
coming
feel
out?
like.
When's that special
Well,
coming out?
they're still trying two groups, and I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a waste of time because they don't need another old white guy. Nobody's
I thought it
paying
was.
for another old
I
white guy special. You know what I mean?
well,
It's like,
yeah. Well, I thought it was a
so
great special, buddy. There was moments where I was cheering, and I bet you the dad bit was one of them. So I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's a joke for us. It's one of
yeah,
those jokes where you write a joke that you love, and the audience comes along, and you're like, what? Like I get to win like this? This is the
yeah,
best. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
mean, a lot of it is just trying to make them, um, enjoy it, and just, get some joy out of who you are as, what you're bringing to them, But a lot of those
right,
jokes, I'm like, I like them. I wrote it. I'm happy. But sometimes I'm like, that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? I wish I had a whole show of those. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
Yeah.
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 I don't know that
Especially
anybody would watch that.
yeah, yeah. Especially when you come up with some kind of original take on something, and you're like, "Holy shit, that's original!" Oh, and it's funny, and then the
Yeah.
audience goes with you. That's a great feeling. That's a great, great
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
That's where I've been learning on the boats, is that you've got to do a little bit of boat material, and you want to do it
Yes.
from your own perspective, right? And
Right. 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 Right.
because
Right.
because there are going to be guys out there that do boat stuff, and they've got all that stuff. They're going to kill that, and then you've got the cruise director who's going to be doing all this stuff and they're going to kill that, and you only
Right.
have your perspective to come from. And the first one that I wrote was the travel day. It's my wife wants me to be nice to you because it was a travel day. The travel day. She goes, oh, they're going to be, because they had to get on a plane and they had to go,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
to a cruise ship. You're not going to an oil rig. You're not going to ice road trucker. You know what I mean? You're not the deadliest catch. You're going to have a buffet and you got a drink package. What is the big deal? Lighten up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about a travel day. I was in the Army. I used to jump out of planes. One time, the parachute dragged me for 200 feet. That was a rough travel day. You know what I mean? The fucking D-ring would hit this thing. Yeah, So
That's great.
And that, it's just, but it gets them in and they go, yes, that's right. Because they've been griping and because we all do it. We all fucking do it.
You know what? It's like that welcome aboard show when you really have to be squeaky clean and all that.
Yeah.
And I do some it's your first day on the ship, travel day, all that kind of stuff. But it's like when I would do the road a lot, when I was opening up, one of the things I learned from the headliner was have something to say about the town that you're in. And sometimes it was the same joke they used the night before in the other town 100 miles away, but it made it sound as if it was about this town. Yeah. Folks, what's with you people? One that was popular was, folks, I got out of town today. What are speed limit suggestions for you people? And they just laugh as they think, we drive crazy. We do drive crazy. The night before and the next night it's going to be the same joke, but it was a joke about that town as far as the audience was concerned.
Right.
And I go that, and I read something. I think I read something one time where Leno would do that. If he got into a town, he would try to get in even a day early, and he would go to the diner. What's going on around here? The police chief was caught in the whatever boobity boop. The mayor was having then he was okay. He would get something truly about that town. That's hard to do when you go from town to town to town, but when you're on the ship, have some kind of material, like anything, that kind of unites everybody. Like you did. Yeah. I do the same thing about not the same joke, but it's your travel day. You're exhausted. You got on the ship. They didn't have your credit card, and you do a thing. But I always think that's a good technique that I learned years ago about hitting something that is universal. About the town, about the ship, about what we just experienced, whatever the case is, But one thing I never want to do is I never want to then do 25 minutes of that.
Right. No. Yeah. But you got to get it. You're bringing them in. Do you remember how with Hicks, right? Bill Hicks, everybody was, Hicks does this and Hicks does that. And I was with one of the guys from the old Houston workshop, and we were talking, and he goes, what nobody knows is that Hicks used to have like a 15-minute bit about what a shitty car he had. And that's how he opened the show. Now, it's not on any of the specials because he's not going to let it be on any of the specials. But he had a 15-minute bit on what a shitty car I have. And everybody's had a shitty car. And, when he was younger, obviously it connected more to a younger group. But everybody gets having a shitty car. And I was blown away by that because I was like, Bill Hicks? And he was like, yes, because he wants to connect too. Then once he connects, he can go out there and do all this crazy shit. But he still needs to connect with an audience. There has to be something there that they have to like you for some reason. I don't think you have to kiss their ass for them to like you.
No.
But you have to make some connection on some level.
You have to unite them in some way. You have to unite them. Now, I never knew that about Bill Hicks. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a great story.
That makes me love him more, really. It makes me love him more.
Well, I would have loved to heard the bit. I would love to hear the bit. Yeah, you know what I mean? How hard was it to get in that car? You know what I mean? I know. Where did he go with it? What's the Hicks version of a shitty car bit, right?
Yeah. I bet you it was brilliant, man. I would have loved to have heard it.
It was.
Yeah. Well, you want to work on it a little more, Danny, or are you good? Are you good?
No, I'm good. I didn't know what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
I am absolutely good. It's I really
Okay, cool.
enjoyed hanging out with you.
I think that's funny. I think you have the right idea to go to that, to the how much you hate the party based on the name. I think that's great. I think I'm not coming based on the name. I think that's hilarious. I had a little something. I don't even know if it's funny. I mean, if you guys got time, I mean, I can throw it out there if you want.
Yep.
You want to hear it?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the Crip Walk is? I'm asking you guys. I'm asking you two.
It's the dance.
Yeah, the dance, the Crip Walk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, I'm not doing the bit yet. I'm just giving you little guys background. It's been. I might say this on stage. I might not. I've never done it on stage. It's just something that I saw online, and this thing just developed in my head.
Okay.
Apparently, it's been around since the 70s. Okay, the leader of the Crips, he made this dance. Okay. Last year, do you remember when it exploded all over the internet? I mean, it seemed to be all over the internet, man. And I remember, and for those who have not seen or don't know what the hell I'm talking about, let me show you a little quick about let me show you what the Crip Walk is real quick.
You're about to witness the sea walk of the incredible. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. 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 I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster. Keep it gangster, dog. Keep it gangster.
All right, that's it. Okay, it's that was my first exposure to it. Was at an Ice Cube. I wasn't at the Ice Cube concert. I saw this online. Okay, so I'm looking at the Crip. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. That is so cool, man. I wish I could do that. And here come all these Crip Walk videos. And pretty soon I saw a tutorial. There was a tutorial for a Crip Walk. There was a guy showing you how to do it. I said, I'm gonna learn this shit. So I get up. I got the phone here. And I'm like, just step here, step this. And about 5 seconds into this, I felt more shame than I've ever felt in my entire fucking life. In fact, I become the physical manifestation of everything Black people hate about white people. I'm a 55-year-old white man, 3 kids and a wife, standing in my den, holding an iPhone, watching a TikTok tutorial. I felt all of my ancestors looking down on me going, we left a fascist dictator. We struggled with poverty and fought oppression. And this is what we've come to. This is what we've come to. And here's the big thing. What was my end game with learning this motherfucking thing? What was my end game? I mean, me and my wife were going to be at a dinner party. And she goes, oh, after the creme brulee, Vinny's going to show you that new dance he does. Everybody come around. We're going to look at the dance. Vinny, show him the dance. My wife doesn't talk like that. What am I going to do? What am I going to walk into a club and go, hey, fellas, look what your boy can do? What was I hoping? And that's it. There's no ending to it. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I would go. There's got to be a line in there about how Dennis Hopper from the movie True Romance about the Moors. Apparently, that's not true. It's all white. You know what I mean? I didn't get any. All that rape. I didn't get any. I got nothing.
I got no rape plan.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get the dick. I can't dance. Yeah.
That's such a great reference, man.
Yeah, and I thought of that because I think of that with you because you always do the Italian stuff, so that feels like that's there. I think if you could do it, the funny thing is, right? Like in the end, if you can do it and you do it on stage and you do well, do well. And then you go, I only do it in the candy aisle at Target, or you know what I mean? Or you go, you know what I mean? Or the whatever aisle at Walmart. That's the only place I do it. You know what I mean? Something strange like that.
Yeah.
If you, because when you talk so much shit about yourself, if at the end you go, and then they're going to applaud and you go, well, I wasn't going to give up, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And now I only
Yeah.
do it when I go to pick up my kids from school. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't have to pick up my kids from school anymore. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Or, you know what I mean? Something like that. So, you know, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
my thoughts.
Pick up the kids from school.
I have to look it up now.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
seen it.
yeah. It's a really cool dance. I mean, when I saw this, I was like, man, that's cool, man. And then they kept there's more people doing it. And then I saw the tutorial. I was like, I'm gonna learn this shit. And dude, I'm telling you, it was 100% true. I stood up, started the video, and one step, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I? Why am I learning this? What am I gonna do with this knowledge?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Am I gonna go to clubs now? Hey, yo, boys, you know?
Yeah.
And I really felt like I am the manifestation of everything black people hate about white people right now. This is fucking stupid what I'm doing right now. Yeah. What about that line?
I like that.
No good line, or does that line
the
work?
manifestation, yes, I like that line.
Yeah.
I think that's where I went to the True Romance, but I think that's a great.
Yeah, and then tag it with the more, and tag it with the more shit.
Mores, yeah. I mean, it's like
I thought I was supposed to have some more in me. I didn't get the dance.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a 23andMe and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. See, my big thing was this. My big thing was, am I the only one who thinks it's funny? You guys think there's potential there?
Yeah, I think there's potential. Any way that you want to do it. I mean, I bringing the wife in makes it fun. I want to hear what Greg has to say.
Yeah,
I wish I knew what the walk looked like.
Oh,
so that I could maybe.
It looks almost like you imagine you look. You know what I mean? But
it's like a cool walk. It's like a cool walk / dance, listen. No disrespect to the dance. It's a cool dance. I see it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's how a man dances. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how a man dances. You know, I mean,
I gotta look it up after this.
I don't know about you, but sometimes, I see dancing or I start dancing and I go, yeah, I feel a little, but that's a man dance.
I don't know if it's getting kind of really too out there with it, but what if you were in LA and you did that, the Crip Walk?
I got shot.
and some of the Bloods were there. I don't know. Yeah. I got shot by. I did that once and I got shot. I don't know if that's getting too. I never heard of it. I never heard of it.
That's funny. I've never even heard of a blood dance. Why is there a Crip dance and not a blood dance? What are the?
Right. Wait a minute. Okay, maybe I heard the Bloods are coming out with their own dance. Could there be? We're getting too far off. Could there be like a West Side Story link kind of thing? They have a dance off instead of killing each other. They have a dance off.
Yeah.
Well, the Crip dance came from the Blood shooting at him.
No. Is that what it was?
No.
Oh, okay. They're dodging bullets.
Yeah. No, I like that idea though. The West Side Story thing. That's a because if you do go that route, but now you're gonna have to dance. You're gonna have to do because then you got to come up with the other dance, and you better be careful about what you come up for the Bloods dance. Because now you are in a territory, you know what I mean? No, maybe that's the joke. Look, I wanted to learn it, but I thought two things. One, either I do this dance well, all right, and Crips see it and they realize that's the end of the Crip dance, or you know what I mean, or I do it and I do it so poorly that it starts back up the Blood Crip War, you know what I mean? And now I'm officially a Blood, or I don't know. Well, I just don't want to be, I like both of you, both your sides or whatever. Not really sure. I got to.
Yeah. There you go. In lieu of learning the dance and then getting good at it, that's where I'm going.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the end result? You were saying before, what's the end result?
Right, right.
Because it's not going to be peace between the two gangs. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, what if you doing this in public sets off this cataclysmic event of things that the Crips saw you, and either they loved it or they hated it, and then the Blood saw you, and then you're a Crip, you're the white Crip. Who are you, the lawyer? Maybe they hold you hostage, and hey, we got your white boy here, and like we don't give a like. I don't know if that's getting too convoluted or just you doing it. I mean, like, what is the end game? Did you just want to learn it? Like, did you just want to learn it for your own sake?
Yeah.
And you started doing it in public, and the wrong people saw you.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean? I don't know enough. I know the Crips and I know the Bloods, but I don't know enough. I don't know the backstory. I want to be whichever one Snoop is and whichever one Suge Knight is not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the one I want to be. You know,
that's the one I want to be.
Yeah, you get pretty deep with that. You know, I've got a bit about I don't do the Crip dance, but I do a little dance and then a point, and it comes out of nowhere. And I tell everybody, oh, that's my impression of an NFL receiver getting a first down in a game where his team is down by 28 and they're only 3-11. Yeah.
Yeah. I would do that thing. Why do they point?
I don't know.
We know which way you're going.
Exactly.
You caught your first pass in 3 games, and they pop up with that bullshit. Oh my God! I can't watch football. I just can't.
I love it.
I love it to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so that's something interesting. The Crip Walk.
Yeah.
Vinny, maybe you could tie this in with your. You know who does a good Crip Walk is the Mexican bull riders. I don't know if Danny knows that, but after they get off the bull, he's working on a bit of a Mexican bull riders.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen Mexican bull riding?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I have in my history. I did a set. I did 10 minutes at a Mexican bullfight in Cancun, Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they?
I'd tell you it's not what you think it's going to be, but it is mostly Americans. You know what I mean? Because it's like a tourist thing. But yeah, I mean it's intense.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, I watched the videos.
It's not a joke. Yeah. What they do to that bull is like, wow, man. Yeah.
Right.
I wonder why he's pissed. You know what I mean? I mean, it's some pretty. It's the blood out there is real. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, and the mutilation. I mean, I've seen guys get the shit stomped out.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, yeah, you see that with American bull riding, but nothing like the way these guys get the. I mean,
you mean the bull riding? You don't mean the matadors. You mean the bull riders. You're talking about. I've seen that. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've been. I did 10 minutes at a bullfight at the matador, the thing. I have not seen them ride them except on YouTube. That's the only time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've never seen it in person.
Me neither.
Hey, the bullfights, they're just as impressive because these guys really think that they can just stand there and they're just going to dance their way over. Some of them are good, but all of them are good to a point. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a point in sports, like in the NFL, where you hit a certain age and you can't play quarterback anymore. Okay. But that age that you hit that in bullfighting, there's something sticking out of the middle of you. You know what I mean? It's not like we sit down and talk about it. It is clearly sticking. There's blood coming out. There's a hole. Yeah. Well, he's retired.
It's interfering with the function.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man, guys.
So where do you want to go with it, Vinny? Just that you don't know why you're intrigued by it and you want to learn it, or? Or you
I
practiced
I was gonna answer your question. Yeah, Vac, I got to tell you, I saw it, I thought it was cool. I said, man, it'd be cool if I could do that. And I stood up, and then immediately all these feelings came. All the feelings, like at once, all the ones that I described. First of all, literally shame. I'm like, what am I doing? First of all, I don't got time for this. And then, I got so many other things to do. I'm gonna. What am I? And then, what's my fucking end game? And then later, I'm driving and I'm thinking about it, and I thought, I wanted to describe the shame more. So I was my ancestors looking down on me, we traveled across an ocean. We left a fascist dictator.
You should have been a doctor, and now you're doing Crip walking on.
There you go. We survived depression and poverty, and this, you should have been.
I can hear your mother. I can hear your mother now. First, you have to be a comedian, and now this. This is what you do with your time. Yeah. You described it earlier, I thought, differently, that I liked. It was the most masculine dance you had seen, right? That's what you were saying. It was sort of the most.
The way men should dance. The way men should dance. Yeah.
Yeah, because dances are rarely, masculine. You know what I mean? You go, okay, I mean, I respect what they do, but it's a little,
Yeah. So it was purely Vac. It was purely. Once you see it, you'll
look it up.
Yeah. Once you see it, you'll go, oh man, that's cool. That's really cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did. I was like, man, that's cool. Let me play it again. Man,
it is cool.
This guy's cool, man. This guy's cool.
Yeah.
And then they just kept showing up in my feed, different people doing it, and then I'm like, man, that'd be cool to be able to do that.
It's just called the Crip Walk or the Crip Dance.
Crip Walk. It's called the Crip Walk.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I like the angle of your ancestors who suffered through famines and plagues and fascist dictators, and they were going to go to America, and our descendants will be successful. And I thought maybe Governor Coppola, and Michael, I want more for you. And then you're doing a Crip walk on stage.
Yeah.
They're looking down, going, "Motherfucker, are we sure this one's ours? Are we sure he's ours?" Sometimes they mix him up with the hospital. I don't know. Maybe the other one.
Yeah.
I think the angle of your ancestors having this dream of coming to America and making their surviving plagues and famines and fascist dictators and having to escape the country, and they come over on a boat. They were down in the not the dungeon. Yeah. Oh, they made it. They got here. Oh, honey, our ancestors are they're gonna rule the world someday. And maybe you have cousins who are doctors. Like I have cousins and relatives who are freaking hugely successful, wildly successful people, from Broadway to medicine to economics, to all kinds of shit. And then there's me, and I wanted to go. And let's look at all of our. Look at little Maria. She's the head doctor of neurocytology, whatever. I got this one over here. How's Vinnie doing? What the fuck? He's doing Crip Walk. Sure, Vinnie.
Have you seen his TikTok? Yeah.
Have you seen his TikTok?
But have you seen his TikTok?
7 views.
Wait, how many views does he have? Oh, look at this. Vinnie's doing a Crip Walk. And it's hysterical. Have you seen his TikTok? That's funny.
And if you get it down, I think I got it. I think I've got it.
Okay.
Like the only reason why I figured out why I want to be able to do this, and you say because the only time this would be acceptable for a man like me to do is as soon as the head of the jury says not guilty, and then you just crip walk the fuck out of
it. That is hysterical, Danny.
I think that'd be funny, especially if you can do it. If you can do it, it'd be
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I
boys.
really don't see me learning it, but it
You
would
don't
be
think so?
awesome.
I bet you take a day, 2 days, you can do
Listen,
it. It's not that hard.
Danny, I thought about that. I thought about it. You know, if I'm like making a joke, I'm joking about this, and I'm talking about how stupid I feel and blah blah blah. And if at the end I just nail it, just real quick, nail it like that, they'd fucking lose their mind.
Yes.
But
And you don't have to do much. You don't have to
not
do
much.
much.
No.
You just have to do a little bit of it. And if you could get
Yeah.
a little bit of it
Yeah.
down, I mean, place go crazy. And
They go crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't gonna quit. That's it.
I wasn't gonna quit.
This is great, guys. Thank you very much. Vac,
Thank
are you
you.
cool? Got anything you want to work on?
Yeah. This is good.
Okay. Oh,
This
you're
is gonna
good?
take 2 days to download from out here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Takes
thank
forever
you very
when I'm out
much.
here.
Thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you guys very much for. Sorry, I'll edit this. Thank you guys very much for being here. This was a very, very fun one. Danny, thank you so much for being
Danny
here.
Bevins, thank you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
I love
Greg.
it.
Nice to see you, buddy. Benny, thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Danny, I'm going to do a credit reel at the end of this so people can find you online, but let them know real quick how to find you.
Oh, well, I got a dry bar out there that I'm not impressed with. And I've got
Great dry bar. Go listen to them. It's great.
And I've got I'm on Facebook and Instagram and all those places. And I got a TikTok. And I have a character that I've come up with. I've always loved Vinnie's bad Uber driver. And I really think that is the direction now we have to go, because you can't be burning material and you've got to be doing something. And I've come up with a character that I can do just by myself, filming it. And because of the AI, I can do all these voices. And the character is the agent for A to Z Entertainment, Daniel. And people call in looking for all kinds of crazy entertainment, and then I have to deal with their phone calls. And
cool.
I'm stealing this idea from there's a Russian guy out there who he's dispatched for a tractor trailer owners, you know what I mean? He puts loads with it. And the way he does it, he makes me laugh as he's trying to tell them, the way you're offering, we can't make any money. We're going with the devil. He does the math for them, and they're like, you still can't. And it's beautiful. And that's where it came out of. And I really want to do it at the highest level and be able to say, the worst things. Like, I have in my mind that somebody wants a magician and a hypnotist. And I'm like, what do you hate these people? You know what I mean? Along the lines like that. What did they do to you? You know what I mean?
And you're gonna deadpan it, right? What do you hate?
Yes. And I have an earphone that comes out. So it's, and I'm on my computer, and it's, it's like I'm trying to line up this midget with this guy that wants to bring back dwarf tossing from the 90s. And I've got a whole thing that I got to, he keeps saying, calling them midgets. And I'm like, you can't call them that, sir. It's not appropriate. And he's like, I don't give a shit what you want to call them. I want to throw them against this wall, and I'll give them $500 an hour, 4 hours. And then I'm going to go to the midget, and the midget's going to go, yeah, tell him $1,000. I want $1,000. And yeah, I can do it. And I have it. I have most like 4 or 5 of them jotted out, but I want them tight so I can do that. And that's its own thing. But then it showcases what? Writing. There's a little bit of acting there. I don't care about the acting, but there's writing. And I'm not saying, look, it doesn't matter. You made them well, and does the audience come to you? Who knows?
Yeah.
But at least I like that idea, and I think that's what people have to find. That you got to find that thing you can do.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When I was coming up with Bad Uber Driver, I was driving for Uber, And I was, all the scenarios in my head, I'd literally be laughing in the car, and I just loved doing it. I had a great time doing it. And I can tell that there's a lot of passion for this. So that's, in my opinion, that's the most important thing. Did you have fun doing it? Will you have fun doing it? Is it fun? Do I wish more people look at it? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they should, because it's funny. You know what I mean? But I think that's that you're going to have to find something that keeps in there. And then if you can build an audience that way, we all have the acts. Once it's time to go out on the road, you've got that part. That part you've been working on your whole life, you know. But this other part you got to find. Yeah.
Yep. This business has changed.
Cool, man.
So, yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Danny.
Love you.
Appreciate it, Danny.
All right, guys.
All right.
Vac, see you online, my brother.
All right, buddy.